Let me show this on the stream. Today, it's all about the OMG lead magnets, right? Oh my goodness, got to get your hands on it. If you're like me, if you've been in the online space for a while, you've probably collected lead magnets. But let me ask you another question. Have you gotten to the point where they kind of all look the same? And usually people are just copying what somebody else is doing, what somebody else is doing. They're, buying all these templates and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're not getting value from it, then why even bother, right? So, as the entrepreneur, as the educator, as the coach, what I hope you'll take from today's training is it's pretty easy to create a lead magnet where people are saying OMG, because that's what we want. We want people, not only do we want them to grab it and download it, we want them to use it, and we actually want them to get a result. So if that sounds like that's what you want, then you're in the right place. So what we're going to cover today is the number one mistake that people make when they're creating their lead magnets, and how can you give value without giving away the store? That's the second question people usually have. And what is it about a lead magnet that actually makes people say, OMG, this was the best thing ever? At the same time, when we're creating our lead magnets, we want to make sure that we're not repelling people. Now, with online marketing, we do want to repel people in the sense of if they're not our ideal client, then we don't need them coming into our world because we can't help them. But we don't want to repel people if we can help them. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I'm just going to share the easiest way of creating your lead magnet. And then I've got some wireframes and like worksheets basically that you can use. If you happen to be watching this like on another channel, like my YouTube channel, and just reach out if you don't see the link to get these handouts. All right. So let me hop over here into the next screen here and let's get going. So, what makes your lead magnet compelling? Now, we're looking at this little donut here, and the girl is licking her lips. She can't wait to bite into it. What makes it compelling, of course, is the visual part of it and that anticipation that this is really going to taste good. Can't wait to bite into it. And, they put some sprinkles on the top. Do the sprinkles do anything, or the little chocolate nibs? Not really, but it makes it compelling. It makes it attractive. So, of course, that's the first thing is we want our lead magnet to be that over the top, compelling, attractive, can't wait to, open it up. But now here is the real decisive point here. When you're creating your lead magnet, it needs to solve an immediate pain. And when I call them mini problems, what I like tiny problems, whatever the situation is, the problem as entrepreneurs is we either give way too much because we are the expert and we want to solve A to Z, and they just need help going from A to B, right? It has to be an immediate problem. And what I mean by that, if you've been around my world for a while, you'll know that I always talk about that bleeding neck situation. Bleeding neck means it is such a problem to them that they know that they have to do something. Okay. If it's just kind of a, well, I'll get to it someday, then your lead magnet isn't going to be compelling. And I'm going to talk about this in a few minutes of how can you identify some of those immediate pain points. The next thing is I want you to think about making it so simple that anyone can do this. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me use Facebook ads as an example. I am not a Facebook ad specialist. I'm starting to kind of dip my toes into creating my own Facebook ads. Um, but there are so many windows and screens, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And oh, by the way, if you want it to go to your email, or you have to connect this piece and that piece. And let me tell you, it can quickly become so overwhelming that why do people pay other people to create their ads and to run them? Because it's just too much. But now, if that was the bleeding neck problem that I was helping people with, I would take one mini problem and really hone in on that and help them solve it and do it in such a simple way that anybody could do it. A kindergartner could do it. All right? Is that making sense what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments if it does. So, when we're creating something, the temptation is to give them everything under the kitchen sink. But usually, if we can help them solve one tiny little problem and make it as easy as possible that anybody can do it, then they're going to be really excited. The other issue that I see out there is most people start on step D and not on step A. So, what do I mean by that? If you're helping somebody solve a problem, think back to those baby steps. What is the very, very, very first thing that they need to do? Now, if you want to see the wrong way of doing it, Google something, doesn't matter, something that you don't know how to do it. Most people start like 2 or 3 steps down. You need to get as basic as from the top menu bar, click File, then to the left, look for and whatever it is. Now, to you, you might be thinking, let's go back to the Facebook ad section or example. You might be thinking, well, everybody knows you just get into your ad manager. Well, how do you get into the ad manager? So I would be very clear with the steps. Open up a new browser tab, type in whatever the URL is to get into the ad manager. When the steps are that clear, what you're really doing, one, you're showing that you're an expert. You're helping people actually get to the end and they are feeling successful. Now, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I don't like feeling dumb. And sometimes when I'm learning something new, I get so frustrated because I think to myself, I'm a smart gal. I should be able to figure this out. And when I can't, what are those feelings? It's like this yucky feeling. I can't stand it. So if I go to somebody and I download their lead magnet and they're teaching me how to do Facebook ads, for instance, and I read through it, I'm trying to follow the directions and I can't do it, I'm really kind of blaming that person, even though maybe I can't really articulate that because I'm so frustrated I can't do it. So let me know if this is making sense. We need to solve an immediate pain point, something that is so painful, they know that they need to get help. It actually resolves a little problem. We want to get them from A to Z, whatever that little problem is. We want to simplify it. Tell it to me like I'm a kindergartner. Make the steps very clear. And another thing is sometimes people forget to announce what is the ending point. How do I know when I'm at the end? So just say something like, you'll know that you're successful when you see this screen display or whatever it is. And then the last piece here is deliver over the top value. And what do I mean by that? Make your lead magnet so juicy that people literally would pay money for it. And I know what a lot of people are thinking. It's like, well, then I should just charge for it. But here's the deal. If you're spending money on Facebook ads or spending money to be in groups that you network or whatever it is, there's always a cost factor. Wouldn't it make more sense to deliver something that actually solves a problem? You've already got it in your pantry, so to speak. And if it gets them the solution, then it is part of your marketing cost, so to speak. I hope that makes sense, what I just said. Don't be afraid to give away something of high value. Yes, you probably could charge for it, but what is the value of those leads coming in? I don't have the stats in front of me, but again, if you talk to people that run a lot of Facebook ads, they'll tell you that a good ad, maybe it might cost $2 to $5. I don't know. I'm making up numbers here. Okay. So think about that. So if you have something part of your program that you can pull a slice out, give it away free. Don't worry about charging $17 or $27 because the value of that client coming into your world is worth a lot more than that. All right. Are you still with me? Okay. Let me just come back here for a second. So again, think bleeding neck problem. What problem can you actually solve for your people? Whittle it down until it feels like it is so simple. You're thinking, why would somebody even want this? I'll tell you why. Because we all get frustrated when we're trying to do something. And usually it's, the fire hose, right? They give me so much information, I can't wade through it. So make it simple, make it actually fix a problem. How do you know that it's one of their problems? Do your market research and give them the solution and deliver over the top value. And they are going to love you for that. All right, you're still with me? Let me know in the comments. Sometimes my comments don't update. So, all right. Now, what is a stinky lead magnet? We've all had those. Number one, it's just vanilla. Does your lead magnet look like any other lead magnet out there? Then chances are people might sign up for it, but they'll never do anything with it. The second issue is no value. And again, we've talked about this. People don't need more pieces of paper to print out. They need solutions. That's what they're going to remember. Let me ask you a question. If you've ever, if you buy something, usually there is, some kind of a manual that comes with it. If it's an expensive item, it might be a thick manual. If it's a small thing, maybe it's just a few pages. But I'll tell you what, my favorite thing is when you buy something and they give you what they call the quick start guide. And it has these beautiful pictures and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That is wonderful. Now, they might ship also this 50-page owner's manual that comes with it. Chances are you're never even going to look at it because guess what? People don't read. You stick it in your closet, but you never refer to it. So when you're building your lead magnets, don't make it bland. Don't make it so vanilla that it looks like everyone else out there. And then don't have too many ... And what do I mean by that? Don't have too many words. Again, people don't read. So if you are giving them like a little ebook, I always talk about white space. White space is free. So if you can expand the information that you're giving them, putting in lots of white space, reduce the words, put more pictures versus text, less is better. If you're doing a presentation type thing, just have a few words on each screen. Don't fill it up because people don't read it. The other too many's is too many calls to action, too many CTAs. And what I mean by that is, hey, click here to watch the video, and then click here to get this other freebie, and click here and click. And then by the time I'm done reading that, there's so many action items, my brain freezes. Are you that way? Because simple is better. So each lead magnet should have one major call to action. Each lead magnet should be created with a specific call to action. Do you want this lead magnet for people to get on a discovery call? Then talk about that discovery call of how you help people throughout the lead magnet. Do you want the lead magnet just to join your Facebook group? Only have that one CTA. Another huge problem is making your lead magnet all about you. Now, if people are just now coming into your world, yes, they need to know a little bit about you, because why should they listen? Why should they take the time? Why should they download this? But here's the deal again, people don't care. We've all heard this. It's not about uh, what you have to say, it's what's in it for me. That's what's going through people's minds. What can I get from this that's going to help me in my life, that's going to help me with my job, that's going to help me with my relationship? So forget about it's all about you. Less is better. You could always point people to another page saying, click here if you'd like to read my whole history, something like that. Just remember, it's about them and it's not about you. I think I've mentioned this before. I probably have it on here twice, but it looks like all the others. Now, again, there's lots of templates out there that we can use to help us get started. But if we just like change the color of that template and then it has all the same information, people catch on to that. It's like, well, it's just like anything else. So why should I even bother reading it and take action? So use your little creativity genes and really doll it up, dress it up, make it stand out, make it look different. And then the last thing here is, again, no transformation. Your lead magnet, again, should get people from A to Z to whatever that little problem or situation is. And when they get done, they're going to say, oh my goodness, I actually accomplished this. I got this finished. I got it installed. I set up my first Facebook ad, whatever it is that you're helping people with, they should be able to say, look at me. Because again, it's not just the information that you're sharing with them, it is the feeling that they get. So they're realizing that you are the expert in this field and you help them get to the end zone, to where they want to go. And we all love that feeling, don't we? All right. Let me just check back in here. Let me hide this for a second. Are you still with me? All right. So again, we want that transformation. We want to make it easy for them. We don't want to look like everybody else out there, right? We want over the top value, over the top looks and feel. We don't want it to look like anybody else. So how do we quickly, I say quickly, but what's some shortcuts into creating our lead magnets? So let me come back here and let's just talk about this. I'm going to talk about the triangle here in just a minute, but when my students, it's in my coaching programs and in my high-end DBA membership, I talk about when you're building out your program, you're going to build basically a triangle with 3 sides. And those are the main pain points that people have. And then from there, 3 sub main pain points. All right. And I'm going to talk about it in just in a little bit here. If you build your business around this triangle model, then it's super easy. You will know what those pain points are, and then you can just pull a slice out of that triangle and make that part of your lead magnet, your lead gen. And then just do some quick research. I like to use spreadsheets and start capturing people's pain points. Start writing down exactly what people say. If you're in a Facebook challenge, for instance, and people are posting their questions, again, I'm in a little Facebook challenge right now. Again, I am not a Facebook expert. It's amazing the questions that people are asking and the language that they're using. So have some system in place where you can catalog this research. So when you run across somebody, let's say you're a relationship coach, and you run across somebody saying things like, all my hubby does is sit on the couch and play video games when he comes home from work. I wish that, we could have a chance to talk, something, whatever it is. They have just identified a major pain point in that relationship. So you take that language, you write it on a spreadsheet or in a document so that you have it. And then as you're building your lead magnet, those are the descriptive words that you're going to use. And then the last piece on the easy creation is I want you to think about the end first. All right. And again, try to make it just a little sliver. So let me use the Facebook ads again as an example. One little piece of creating Facebook lead ads is creating what they call a lead form right in Facebook. Now, there's lots of steps before and after that, but it's just one little sliver. That would be an excellent lead magnet. How to create your Facebook lead form in 5 minutes and be able to duplicate it for all of your Facebook ads. I mean, something like that. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, that sounds easy. I think I could do that. So again, going back to one of those bleeding neck problems, I'm trying to set up my Facebook ads. It wants me to create this form. I don't know if I did it right. So do you see how when you point a specific quick win and then build your entire lead magnet around that? So let me know in the comments if that's making sense. The last thing that I want to mention, as far as when you're building out your lead magnet, is you always want to leave them wanting more. So, in other words, and I'm not saying you show them the what, but you don't show them the how. What I'm saying is you show them that this is one little piece in the destination of their journey. So again, going back to Facebook ads, there's lots of steps. One of the steps is creating your lead form. Another step is connecting those opt-ins to your emailer system. Okay, so you would just make mention of that, saying the next step in your journey is XYZ. If you want more help, reach out. Right? So we're not teasing, we're just saying, hey, if you want to get to the next step, this is what you need to do. And if possible, offer what we call binge-worthy content. So invite them to have another taste of some of your other free content that actually moves the needle for them. So if you have a YouTube channel, point them to the YouTube channel. If you have a podcast or if you have a Facebook group, whatever it is, but help them go the next step. If they're not quite ready to sign up to work with you, saying, if this was useful and you want more training videos, then subscribe to my YouTube channel, whatever it is, but give them some other options. And hopefully all of those things are going to be just as juicy, and they're going to just sit there and watch like all of your videos. And then the last thing here is you always, in addition to the solution that you want to get them to, you always want to have one CTA. So as you're building your lead magnet here, you're going to pull from the triangle one of those bleeding neck problems. You're already hopefully have some quick research, so you'll know the language. Design that quick win. But then you also want to know what is the CTA that you want people Is the purpose of this lead magnet, is it to get them into your group or to get on a call or to subscribe to your YouTube channel, whatever that is. All right. So if you're still with me, we're almost done here. Let me just mention a couple of things here. When I work with my students in my DBA membership group or my coaching clients, what we do is we use this triangle model, and in the middle is basically your signature program or your signature product that you offer. We identify the top 3 problems that people have. Now, I know what you're going to say. Yeah, but they have like 10 problems. I get it. But we're going to pick just the top 3 problems, and you're going to solve those problems for them when they come working with you. And then from those problems, you're going to pull off a little sliver. So if problem number 2, like for my people, might be, or problem number 1 might be lead gen, and then how can they get leads every day, clients every week? And then what's the first step of that? The first step of that is creating an OMG lead magnet, right? And so you can pull your training, pull a lot of your resources and assets, and make that a lead magnet, right? Is that making sense? All right. So let me just come back here for a quick second. Okay, so that is kind of in a nutshell how to build a lead magnet, make it juicy, make it over the top. So people truly say, oh my goodness, you could have charged for this. Yes, I do. It's part of my big program. So if you want all of this juiciness plus my hands-on support, then join my program. That's how good of a product you want to give them. You want to break it down like a kindergartner. You want to make the steps 1, 2, 3 simple. Also let people know when they've completed it so that they actually know, yes, this is the end. I did it. High five. And they feel so proud and they want to do the next thing. Okay. And don't make it about you. Don't give them a dissertation they don't want to read. Make it as easy as possible, and have one call to action with that lead magnet. Invite them to step closer to you. It's all about showing them that you are the expert and you will get them to the end result, and you've just demonstrated it. So that's how you create those lead magnets that people are saying, OMG, I want this. This is awesome. Now, let me just, I'm going to share this on the screen here. Let me just talk about, just briefly, these are some of the worksheets inside of my program here when I work with my clients, and just a few things to help you. This is a headline generator, a wireframe, and how to build your the hook. Okay. Naming juicy words template. So we need to name our lead magnet. So how do you name it? This will help you with that. Quick start lead magnet page asset list. So as you start building all of these different assets, a way to name them and organize them. The perfect naming formula worksheet. So again, if you're struggling with naming things, you could use this worksheet to help you. And I guess that's all. All right. So again, wherever you're watching this, if you're watching it inside the Facebook groups, I put the link someplace and you can download this. If you happen to be watching this on the YouTube channel, there should be a link someplace for this. And reach out if you have questions. Now, let me just do a little plug. My Digital Business Academy, it's a membership program. It's a low price, $49 a month. So part of the services that I offer in there is I do audits, help you build your lead magnet so that you can get those leads every day, clients every week. If you want hands-on support, right now I'm calling it my 20K code program. It's a business accelerator program. We work intimately together for 3 months. If you are ready to build that beautiful signature system and, get the income and make the impact that you want, reach out for that and I can give you details. And as always, thank you. And I love it when people watch live. So thanks so much for that. If you do watch on replay, it just helps me if you want to put on there you watched it on replay. So then I know kind of what time of day and night people are watching. All right. Hey, I hope you have a terrific day. Reach out again if you have questions, and I'll see you the next time. Take care.